Welcome back to the next episode of Pirate 101. We are going after, trying to complete Moe's quest, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that did not happen. I did not manage to do the quest very well because we got kind of destroyed in a second. But to start, we have to go defeat this Red Claw ship and collect information. So this fight was not particularly challenging, kind of ran through. This fight here with these Red Claws, it's very interesting in this game how even early on you have just such variety in enemies. At least that's what I thought until, pretty much this 15-minute video encompassing over an hour and a half of actual playtime. But this fight, not too bad at all. Just a quick run against these Red Claws. Not even that much tougher than the Cutthroats that we've already seen. And then we've got a stacked crew, you know. We have Star-Lord with Peter Quill, which I'm never going to stop calling him that, and Kobe Yojimbo, and others, and a nice epic hit here to finish off these guys. Well, after this, I went and, we'll see in just a second, I went and found their hideout, and while this fight was kind of easy, the next one was not.
Head into that cave over there.
So we beat this part and we go and we find the hideout, and oh, sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself. This fight as well wasn't too bad. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Kobe Yojimbo always coming in clutch. We love to see it. Love to see Kobe just being Kobe. And Barnabas as well. Just so good at everything he does. Double epic hits from my team. And one more from our actual character. Boom.
Good night here now.
Done.
They hauled him off to Skull Island in the new hideout. He's in Red Hook Cave, and there he'll stay too.
Yep, and so thinking that things were all going super duper well, I thought we were going to be fine until we get into the actual Red Hook Cave, and I will show you what happened in the first part of this fight. One, you're only up against 3, so I thought it would be easy. But then, and one of them even leaves, and then I got hit with this Mega Strike. And I was done so. And there were no Yum Yum fruits in the entire room, so after this I was basically lost. But I tried the next room anyways without having my hero back up, and the result was much the same. I lost very badly. So had to come up with a different strategy, and being underleveled, I realized we just need to go level up. So I started to do a bunch of side quests, and that took me over an hour to level up. Started with this side quest, which was to help the blind Mew, if you remember him. He lost his lost a telescope, and so we had to go kill some Cutthroats to get it back. So this is where I realized part of the game could very much be a grind, trying to get my levels up, but everybody's coming in clutch with these fights, so I'm not super worried about it. It wasn't like it was boring going around doing all these side quests. It was just very time-consuming. So we did this one,
as this telescope is passed down by my descendants,
which worked out great, and then I was trying to think of where I could go to find more, and I remembered that there were several at Blood Shoals, which is where the 3 dead pirates are, Moe. And I thought maybe I could do their quest, but then I found this guy. He wanted me to go kill some Batacudas to get his father's dagger. And let me just tell you, all of these side quests basically ended up being me fighting Batacudas. Lots and lots of Batacudas. I think I did 3 side quests that had to do with fighting it, and you'll see that each one had me fight 8. But this was a little funny. My ship is so small that poor Kobe Yojimbo, he got trapped he couldn't actually participate in like half the fights, depending on where the enemies spawned on my ship. It would always block one of my companions, one of my crew members, Barnabas coming in clutch. So I just set them to auto, and all they did was run back and forth on that back line. So we did that one, not too bad. And then he tells me of this water mole that needs some help, so I decided to go help him in Skull Island. So I went there, and guess what he had me do? Yep, go kill Batacudas. 8 more. But hey, I'm getting XP, we're trying to level up so we can maybe go win this final fight. And not that it's particularly challenging to go fight all these guys, but it was just very time-consuming. So we helped the water mole, which I think I cut out accidentally the conversation, but he didn't have us fight just Barracudas, he also had us fight flying fish, which are actually, I think they were significantly easier than the Batacudas, because just like that, boom, Peter Quint's one attack. Took one out, and basically just getting my companions experience. They don't actually level up, their experience is completely tied to mine, so they don't get individual experience, which is why I'm not worried about like not having Bonnie on the crew in the fights, unless we get to have 5 characters, which is, I don't think there's a position where we're in, where we can do that just yet. But it was flying fish, and then it was even more flying fish. I ended up having to fight like 3 waves of flying fish to beat this quest, when I was hoping to only do 2. Again, taking me like a half hour just to do these side quests. I thought this video was gonna take me, 20-30 minutes to just run through the dungeon. It ended up taking me an hour and a half, and so after that we found this guy, Danny Ratso. He was in love with a girl, but he lost her locket. Gambling. What an idiot. But I thought, well, I can go do this. Guess, I'll give you a bet what it had me do.
I'm sorry.
It was not Barracudas this time. It was... Oh, it was. I thought this was the other Cutthroat one. As you can see, I'm so mixed up with all my side quests. Just ended up fighting a lot more Batacudas. Hopefully, after we beat this kind of stage, the other 3 or the other 2 challenges with Joe or Jack and Manny won't be too terrible. After I beat the Batacudas, I don't even remember what happened, but I had to find this chest over here. And I was like, ooh, group plunder, but I realized I wasn't in the group. So I got the thing, returned it to the person, and beat that side quest. It was not too bad. Just again fighting more Batacudas. And it is what it is. So then I found Uncle Scuttles, hoping that this would be the last side quest. And not Batacudas this time. This is the one I was thinking about. I got mixed up. But more Cutthroat ships. So, mark the spot. That's actually the best thing ever, is just to mark your spot before you leave. That way you can just teleport right back to where you were. And easily found a Cutthroat ship. And at this point the Cutthroats aren't too bad. So, went pretty well all around in dealing with these guys. Very soon they won't even be... doing these side quests now is going to be helpful, because very soon these guys aren't really going to put up any kind of challenge. That Vengeance Strike is going to be so helpful, but we did that for Uncle Scuttles. Finally leveled up to level 6. Took me only an hour and a half, and decided to train up. I couldn't really get, I could only get Kobe leveled up, and then I decided to try to start getting Peter leveled up, because he seemed pretty good. I also went and bought a new sword. It took me a second to decide which one I thought was best. Those fancy daggers were going to be good, but I ended up going with the cruel cutters after some deliberation. So so I thought I could kind of stack the deck in my favor. I think I also went and bought a new armor, and we were ready for round 2 against Frankie Pinch and his crew.
What have we here? Uninvited guest?
This time,
Let's show 'em the
the
door,
fight
boys.
went much more in my favor. At least that's what I planned it to do. It wasn't too bad to handle the 2 minions, and then Frankie leaves once his health gets taken down a certain amount, which is nice. I mean, I was glad I knew that, because in the first fight I definitely focused him, which was a mistake because he ends up leaving after a few turns. So I definitely did not need to focus him. I needed to focus the other people. So that's what we did. We beat both of them, and then after a while Frankie decides to leave. Alright, so we beat that part of it.
Gordon must be in the inner chamber, Captain. Let's go.
Sorry,
And
but we
now
can't
my characters
really
are ready
let
for this
Captain
next
Gordon
part.
go just yet.
I barely had any damage on me.
Spoil our minute plans right through. Crush 'em, boys. Crush 'em all.
Frankie was still orange. He was purple the last time, but this time I focused on instantly getting Captain Gordon out as quickly as possible.
There's more of them. Protect Captain Gordon.
When he does come in, it adds another enemy, but that's not a huge deal. And then trying to focus, I also decided to buff up my characters. I never used Peter, or I hadn't up until this point used Peter's buff, but I thought it would be important. And then I had them all target Frankie. He's so much stronger than the other ones and has so much more health. And his Vengeance Strike does a lot. You see, he just did 24. I was trying to protect my my character, our hero, whose name I never remember. But the cool thing is, this time around, unlike Shepard, if you remember our battle with Finn, our ally this time actually does stuff. The glancing blow being a mega hit was also a big deal. I felt like I was definitely microing. Like, I felt like I actually had to strategize on who I was targeting in this fight, which was interesting because I didn't expect to lose at all. So the first loss in this fight was definitely not what I had anticipated doing. I didn't think the game was going to be that hard, but the fact that I actually had to go level up in order to win a fight was cool to me, that it was actually offering somewhat of a challenge. But once I had leveled up, it was really just a matter of keeping my guys alive. As you can see, even Peter got real low. That mega hit, Captain Gordon gets his revenge on Frankie for trying to eat him, and kills him. And then it was just a matter of time for us to pick up the other 2 guys. Didn't take me too long at all. I did think Peter was going to go down, but he didn't. And then at this point, it was over. Just one more swing, and he was done. And we did it. We beat the dungeon.
Thank you, Captain. These cowering crustaceans have been after me ever since I broke their smuggling ring. What's that? Wilhelmina? And you brought her ring back! Take me to her.
And we're going to reunite
Not so
these lost
fast.
loves until this guy shows up. So while I thought this quest was over, it is not
Friends of
over
the
yet.
Good Captain Gordon, are you? Well, I've no intention of giving up my favorite seasoning. Don't even think about it. There's 100 crabs between you and the door. Say your prayers, pests.
Hold on. I claim Parley.
Harley, you may be
Why didn't we
one
get to
of
claim
Avery's
Parley before?
favorites,
That's
Miss
what I'll never
Fancy
understand.
Airs, Ann. But what right does this little whelp have to the code of the Brotherhood?
Begging your pardon, boss, but I recognize this one. Them's the one who stopped the troggies from blowing up the island.
Yeah, we did a good thing for you guys. So just leave us alone, let us take Captain
Shells
Gordon, and be done with this.
sails. That's a fine nuisance. A real pirate, eh? All right, it's Parley then. It'd be hard for me and the boys to part with good old Captain Gordon.
And this is when I realized we were far from over from completing Moe's section of the quest.
The old pirate they used to call the Dutchman was infamous before Captain Gunn rigged his first sail. Famous he was for his golden hook. Now, for a choice bit of loot like the Dutchman's hook, we'll give old Gordon to you. His ship, the Marie Celestia, was lost in a storm, so I heard. You find that wreck, you'll find the hook. Have we an accord?
And I realized we were headed to a shipwreck next, so hopefully next video we'll actually be able to finish this quest
We can ask
and move
Skinny
on with
Pete
one
at
of the
the
other
Cracking
ones.
Skulls, Captain. He knows all
But
there is to know
that will
about
be
the
up
old-timer
to
pirates.
next time.